What is up, CrossFitters? Coach Justin here for another YouTube video. Here at CBG, we help you lose body fat, build muscle, and crush your WODs without tracking macros. I'm Justin. I'm the WOD nutritionist. This is what me and my team have been helping people do for over a decade. And if you like this video and you want more content like this, go ahead and smash the subscribe button below, and you'll be able to see more content like this. Today's topic is going to be around one of the most controversial subjects. Today's topic is going to be around one of the most controversial supplements out there. And it's not what you think. It's not cocaine. It's creatine. Creatine has the most misconceptions out there of almost anything, but it's the most well-backed and most researched. So I'm going to teach you in the next 5 to 10 minutes more about creatine than you've learned in your entire life. Okay. So the sections of this video are going to be separated into 3 parts. First, I'm going to go over the benefits of creatine. What does it really help you do? Hint, it helps you do pretty much everything if you're doing 4 to 5 watts per week when it comes to losing body fat, building muscle, hitting PRs, crushing your watts. Additionally, I'm going to go over the common misconceptions around creatine, things that people believe out there that have been stirred around amongst the internet, and I'm going to debunk those myths today. And lastly, I'm going to tell you exactly how to take creatine and where to go from here so you can take those actionable items and things I go over today and implement them into your life so that you can actually start seeing amazing results. Now, the first thing that I want you to know about creatine is that creatine is a naturally occurring compound. Creatine exists in the body already. It's in fish products, it's in meat products, it's naturally produced by the liver, synthesized by the kidneys and pancreas. It's naturally occurring. So even though you're like scared to take creatine, guess what? You're already on it. You're just not on it in the dosages that allow for you to receive some of the benefits that I'm going to go over, right? So creatine is naturally occurring. You're already on it. The point of a supplement is to bridge the gap between what you can naturally get from your diet versus what you can get from the actual supplement. Protein powder is an example, right? We get a lot of protein from the foods we eat, but it's pretty hard to hit our protein quantities if we're not taking a protein supplement. Creatine is no different. We can get some creatine from our diet, but we can't get enough to provide the benefits. And therefore, we take creatine, right? So the number one benefit of creatine is energy production. The main fuel source in the body in terms of how we produce energy is through ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. Now, what creatine does is it actually helps you produce more ATP by synthesizing ADP into ATP by adding a phosphate group. Very simple, very easy, scientific jargon. But what this does is it helps with the quick, fast energy bursts in workouts, sprinting, max lifts, and really providing you the extra, you know what I'm talking about, the extra energy during those PRs so you can actually get stronger, right? So it helps with short burst, intense periods of exercise, which is very beneficial in CrossFit workouts and in general. Next, it's also a performance enhancer. Supplementing with creatine has been shown to help with high intensity exercise, strength, and power, which are some of the main components of CrossFit. And so this is another reason that you want to be taking creatine if you want to become more powerful and if you want to hit PRs and get stronger. Also, it increases maximal level strengths, anything from 5 rep maxes and below. Creatine can significantly help with this. This could also mean some gymnastics movements like muscle ups and handstand push-ups, especially if those are end levels of strength types of movements for you. Also, creatine improves overall muscle recovery. Creatine may aid in muscle recovery because reducing muscle damage and inflammation post-exercise, and that allows us as CrossFitters to train more effectively and more intensely over time. Also, creatine provides great hydration benefits. Creatine supplementation is one of the most well-researched. Thousands and thousands of journal articles have come out about creatine, and it's probably the most studied supplement out there, I would say, besides caffeine, if you consider caffeine to be a supplement. right? And so what creatine does is it actually provides and helps us increase water content within the muscle cell, which is where creatine is stored. When used as directed, it can improve muscle hydration and overall performance during high intensity exercise because hydration is super important for those aspects of training. Also, creatine is abundantly and widely available. And so it's very, very cheap. It's not something that's going to cost you a bunch of money or a supplement that says, hey, this creatine is specifically for women. Let's slap a pink label on it and price it 20 times more than what it's actually worth. No, creatine is safe for everybody. And these are some of the main benefits of creatine, right? And this is why you should be taking it. Creatine has a distinct benefit for helping CrossFitters, which is why I love it so much. I would say it's the most important performance supplement for CrossFitters, period. There's nothing else better. And so making sure that you take creatine is going to be a way that you can really increase you losing body fat, building muscle, and crushing your WODs in a really simple way, right? You don't have to reinvent your whole diet. You don't have to change your entire CrossFit workout program or get a new coach. You just need to start taking creatine. Pretty awesome, right? So some of the myths around creatine. The first one is that you need a loading phase, all right? Some athletes, especially when, creatine started to become more popular in the early 2000s, would do a loading phase, right? Where they actually take up to 20 grams of creatine per day, all right? And it's just not necessary to do that. Creatine is going to take 2 to 3 weeks to saturate the muscle anyway. And so therefore, it doesn't matter if you take 5 grams or 20 grams to load it into your body. It's getting to the muscle cells, and you're going to be able to make sure eventually over the course of a few weeks that it's actually there, and you should start seeing some of those benefits. Now, types of creatine. There are several different types of creatine out there, like creatine HCl, creatine monohydrate, creatine nitrate. The most effective and cheapest supplement form of creatine out there is creatine monohydrate. It's been studied as in terms of its effectiveness, availability, and getting into the muscle cell, and it's the best. So stay away from anything outside of creatine monohydrate. Anything else that somebody says that is better for this or that, don't listen. It's been debunked. It's a myth. Creatine monohydrate is 100% the best, right? Another thing is that people will say you should lower your carb intake when you start creatine. And maybe this myth came out of some other myths like creatine causes weight gain and makes you fat and all these other things, right? It's actually the exact opposite. Creatine with carbohydrates can enhance its absorption into the muscles, right? Because also carbohydrates in the form of glycogen are stored inside muscle cells as well, right? And this can really maximize the benefits of creatine. Now, also, people say creatine is a steroid. One of the most persistent myths in the nutrition community and fitness community, and this is false. Creatine is a naturally occurring compound. It's found in foods. It is not related at all to steroids, has a completely different organic structure, and is nothing to do or like any sort of steroid that you would ever take, right? Steroids are synthetic drugs and they mimic the effects of testosterone. Creatine has nothing to do with steroids, right? So don't listen to anybody that tells you creatine is a steroid. Also, a very common myth is that creatine causes kidney damage. This is another common myth that it's going to damage your kidneys if you take it. And research has demonstrated that creatine actually does not do this at all, right? Numerous studies have shown it's safe, it's healthy, and just needs to be used as directed. And it's perfectly fine for anybody with healthy, functioning kidneys to take creatine. People with kidney issues, kidney disease, or any sort of issues in their blood work with creatinine or anything like that, that shows potential kidney damage or any sort of issues related to your kidneys, please speak with your doctor ahead of time before taking creatine. Also, another myth, creatine causes dehydration, right? Very ironic because I just said that creatine helps improve hydration in the previous thing. It can be a great benefit from creatine, but some people believe it causes dehydration, right? And so, however, research has demonstrated that creatine actually increases muscle hydration, right? Does not lead to dehydration. So this is also a myth. Another myth is that creatine is only for bodybuilders. right? Um, Bodybuilders are what I would say the sport that popularized creatine because it provides a lot of benefits for bodybuilders in terms of creating more muscle, losing body fat, building strength, overall performance. And it's very popular amongst bodybuilders, but it's also beneficial for other athletes in a wide variety of sports, right? Runners, especially runners that sprinters, CrossFitters, baseball players, you name it. Creatine can be very, very beneficial to enhance strength, muscle recovery, and power. Also, creatine is only for men. This is probably one of the biggest myths out there because a lot of women are avoiding taking creatine because they believe this. When in actuality, men are the ones that are taking it more prominently. Women are scared to take it because of some of the myths that I'm mentioning, when in fact, it benefits both women and men the same. And so we should be incorporating creatine, both as a man and women out there, very consistently throughout our routine and our weekly supplement regimen so that we can get the benefits of creatine. Okay. Also, probably why a lot of women aren't taking it out of dieting culture and that movement in general is that people think creatine will cause weight gain from water retention, right? And some people avoid creatine fearing that this excess weight gain is due to water retention, or they think it's even worse, something like body fat, right? While creatine does and can increase water content in muscles, right? Because it's improving hydration, this is temporary and it's not fat gain, right? And the muscle gains from creatine are due to increased muscle protein synthesis, right? Which is a good thing. Also, creatine does not work for endurance athletes. And so there's a lot of research out there showing that creatine does help improve maximal level strength athletes, CrossFitters when we're going for PRs, Olympic weightlifters, things like that. And that it doesn't really work for long distance, right? Now, although creatine is really, really beneficial, for high intensity activities, it also can be really beneficial um, for high intensity interval training and lifting weights and running, and especially sprinters. And so it can also benefit endurance athletes in a lot of ways, right? Another myth, because there seems to be more myths than benefits out there that we've accumulated because of the internet over the last 10 years, is that creatine, you need to cycle it. You don't need to cycle creatine. You don't need to take off of it and go on it. It maintains its effectiveness just taking it daily, right? It's not necessary for individuals to do that. So just stay consistent building your habits with creatine by taking it daily. Another myth, creatine causes hair loss. Creatine does not cause hair loss. This is no scientific evidence to support this at all. The claim that creatine causes hair loss. This myth likely stems from confusion with other supplements or unrelated factors. Maybe because bodybuilders are bald, a lot of them, and they take creatine, and creatine's associated with only for being for bodybuilders. Who knows? People make up stuff all the time, but it doesn't cause any hair loss, right? And then all creatine supplements are created equal. This is not true. Do not buy any proprietary creatine blended supplements out there. Just go to Amazon, buy creatine monohydrate in any form. Make sure it's third-party tested. This makes sure that the ingredients and the number of grams of the ingredient is actually inside the product. And so this is all you need to do and all you need to know about creatine and the myths, right? Don't believe any of these myths. I almost feel like the more I talk about these myths, the more they become prevalent, because it's still been 10 years of people believing these ridiculous things about creatine. But hopefully we continue to educate more people so that more CrossFitters can start taking it, both men and women, so they can lose body fat, build muscle, and crush their WODs without tracking macros, right? And so lastly, I want to go over exactly how to take creatine, okay? Creatine is very easy to take. It's usually in a powder form. They also have pills. And I add 5 grams of creatine daily to my post-workout protein shake. Okay. It's that simple. 5 grams in your post-workout protein shake with your chocolate protein powder or whatever you do. It's tasteless. It's very easy, very simple. It's soluble in water. And so it'll go right into your protein shake if you have enough water in there. And you just need to remember to take it daily, right? Even on days that you don't work out, you're going to want to take creatine, right? In terms of the time of day, it doesn't matter. Think about it. Remember earlier in this video, I said it takes 2 to 3 weeks to saturate the muscle, right? So it doesn't really matter what time you take it. You just want to take it consistently so you can saturate the muscle. And after your body utilize it, you want to make sure that you're continuously taking it so that you can continue to reap the benefits of creatine, right? And so take creatine daily, 5 grams. Don't miss it. Build the habits with it, and you're going to start seeing some amazing benefits so you can lose body fat, build muscle, and crush your WODs without tracking macros. If you're struggling with your nutrition to be able to build better habits so you can start looking like you CrossFit, go ahead, click the link below this YouTube video, book a call with my team. We can see if we can actually help you start reaching some of these goals so that you stop doing CrossFit for nothing. Nutrition is the most important aspect of changing body composition. And so we're here to help. See if you qualify, click a link below. I appreciate you guys for listening to this video. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you like the benefits of creatine that I talked about, the myths, how to take it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.